Yeah, I hope my screen is visible to you all. Today and tomorrow, GTO tasks will be covered. First thing, what is this GTO series or GTO tasks? क्या होती है? So, in very simple terms, if I have to put it, for those who are freshers, for those who do not know about GTO tasks, it is an assessment of all the candidates who come for SSB with a series of tests, a combination of indoor and outdoor tasks, and all these tasks are group tasks, except a few like your lecturate or your individual obstacles. All your group test series ka tasks are in a group context. That is, you are supposed to perform as a team, and they are conducted by the group testing officer, a military officer who is trained as a GTO. He moderates and coordinates these tasks over 2 days. That is all GTO tasks are. And here he is trying to focus on your group behavior, your leadership in action. Leadership cannot be tested in indoors, right? अगर कोई task नहीं है, unless there is some crisis or decision making involved, real leadership can't be tested. Otherwise, everyone can behave as a leader if every thing was smooth and the situation was favorable. तो वो check होती है. And under pressure, how do you work? And especially in a team, how do you behave and how do you deliver results? That is all the SSB is interested in. So overall, if I have to put it in short form, short point wise अगर बोलना है, so these are the things they are looking for. Throughout these GTO tasks, they are doing a group behavior analysis where how do you behave when put in a group of diverse people, and they want to check how your responses are during that setup. Your leadership in action will be seen, and all the challenges are time bound. There is no unlimited time given because even in military life, you will be facing challenges which are all time bound. There is very critical shortage of time, so you will have to deliver results in limited time. And team success is critical. They are not looking at individual gladiators. You need not show off yourself as the best in the group, but you should be gelling well with the group and making sure the overall objective is achieved. And they're also checking for scarce resource management because even in your life as an officer, you will have limited resources whenever you want to do an operation. Even in peace, if you want to do something for your unit, resources are always limited because we work on taxpayers money and we do not have unlimited access. So given whatever you have, you need to still optimize them well and deliver your results. So that is what is expected. This GTO, who is the group testing officer, who is this person who interacts with you for 2 days? He is usually a senior officer, mostly a lieutenant colonel or sometimes even a major. A senior officer, not the senior most, but a fairly senior officer who mandatorily has field experience. He would have had some sort of field experience in his career because he has observed military officers in action, troops in action. He knows what kind of qualities help a candidate to be a good officer on the ground, on field, when you are doing operations or not doing a desk job. Basically बाहर जाके अगर कुछ करना है military में, be it navy, army or air force, there are some sort of group skills and outdoor leadership skills that are required. So he is fairly experienced in that, and he observes continuously. He is not only interested in what you are doing during the tasks, he also tries to observe whenever he is with you on the ground. And don't get into this misconception ki pancho din they are observing us, so I need to behave myself in the mess, I need to sleep in a proper position. Aise, nothing like that. All that is not being observed, honestly. They only observe when they are with you in formal setting. जैसे सुबह around 8 9 o'clock you report on the GTO ground, and till lunch time maybe around 2 o'clock तक तुम्हारा GTO tasks होती है. So during that time, whenever he is there with you, he is observing you. Not only during the tasks, but between the tasks, when he is giving instructions to you, when you are asking questions to him. Overall, he is observing you silently. That is all you need to know. What is he looking for? He is looking for natural display of leadership. I told you leadership cannot be learned or it cannot be forced on someone. It is an intangible quality. It develops over time. As and when you keep exercising leadership, you keep improving. You learn new things about your team and you learn new things about your own leadership style. And then overall you keep improving in your ability to lead. So that is being observed. And your cooperation, obviously, I told you how important it is for a military officer to be a team player. So whether you are cooperating with your team, whether you are making sure everyone's interests are met, that is being observed. And your practical intelligence. None of your kitabi knowledge or textbook stuff will come handy when you go out and perform operations, or in general when you are a military officer. Only your effective intelligence, your practical intelligence to solve real world problems, only that helps you. So that kind of intelligence do you have or not, he is trying to check. And whether you will take initiative, whether you have josh, whether you have energy, that also will come out when you are doing your GTO tasks. So yeah, the GTO does not coach or guide you. He only observes and records whatever he sees. Oh, it is important for you to know, because you may often feel ki if I am doing any mistake, someone may point out, or even if I am not caught, I may just get away with it. No, they are observing everything and they are not intervening because they want to see naturally how you perform. If they keep giving you instructions, if they keep intervening you, let's say even during GD, अगर फिश मार्केट सिचुएशन हो रहा है, the GTO does not want to intervene. He wants to see कौन नेचुरल लीडर है जो इनिशिएटिव लेगा एंड ग्रुप को कंट्रोल करेगा, who will drive the discussion towards some common consensus, वो सब देखना चाहते हैं. So he does not interfere in between when you are doing the tasks. That is the role of the GTO. What he is actually assessing are your officer like qualities, all the 15 qualities that we spoke about. And some qualities manifest more in an outdoor setup when you are put in a group. So these qualities like planning and organizing, cooperation, initiative, self confidence, your sense of responsibility, your social adaptability, your mental and physical stamina, these are some qualities which manifest more during GTO tasks. So these are qualities which he is more interested in, and of course all the other qualities also come in some tasks, so that also he takes a note of. So he assesses these OLQs through observable actions during the tasks. There are some things which tell what kind of a person you are, and that is what he is interested in. He is scoring you on your qualities, not on your tasks. If you do not do well in your GD, it does not mean you have scored less in that task. He is only looking at your quality. If let's say you didn't have good communication skills during your GD, you have your lecturate to show you have good communication skills. You have your personal interaction during the command task. He'll take you and take a small 2-minute interview with you. He'll ask you where are you from, what do you do in life, as a he can be informal with you. So during that also your communication can be checked. So it does not mean अगर एक task में बुरा perform किया तो you are done. No, he just wants to confirm all the qualities, and he is not expecting you to be extremely good at any of the qualities. एक बेसिक लेवल एक्सपेक्टेड है कि कितना कम्युनिकेशन स्किल चाहिए, कितना कोऑपरेशन, इनिशिएटिव, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एटसेट्रा, ऑल द वेल क्यूज आर एक्सपेक्टेड एट अ सर्टन लेवल, एट अ सर्टन क्वांटिटी. तो अगर उतना है कि नहीं, दे आर चेकिंग, दैट इज ऑल. And they are not interested in your physical strength. Obviously it is a little important, it comes in handy if you want to become a military leader, then but वो ट्रेनिंग में सिखाया जाता है, एंड दैट इज नॉट द सोल थिंग दे आर चेकिंग. बिकॉज वेन एवर पीपल थिंक ऑफ आउटडोर टास्क दे फील अच्छा मिलिट्री टेस्टिंग है सो फिजिकल चेक्स होता है. दैट इज फॉर जवान्स एंड अदर रैंक्स. They are more interested in their physical qualities because they are the people who will execute missions, they are the people who will be on ground and do what orders are given to them. But an officer's primary task is to give those orders, to think and to brainstorm and to lead missions, and not just go and do physical stuff. So although physical strength is important, it is not the sole criteria to become a good officer. And you giving fancy ideas, you giving doing funny stuff like कोई ग्रेनेड गिर गया तो मैं जाके उस पे कूद जाऊंगा, I'll save my country, I'll save my team, all these meme या funny stuff which I've seen in recent days, वो they are not interested in. They want logical, rational officers who take good decisions for the team and for the overall success of the mission. And even your English communication skills is not being checked, because a lot of people have asked me how important English is. Not very important, honestly. Communication skills, yes. English speaking, no. So yeah, that is what they are assessing. uh, how is the structure, how are GTO tasks divided? इसमें I have missed lecturate. Please make sure कि day 2 में lecturate भी होती है. So day 1 these 4 tasks happen: group discussion, group planning exercise, progressive group task, and your half group task. And on day 2 your lecturate, individual obstacles, command task, your snake race or a group obstacle race, and then at last the final group task. So this is how the GTO tasks are divided across 2 days. Let's go and see what all these tasks mean one by one. Starting with the GD, group discussion, there are usually two topics given. uh, what overall they are checking for when they give you a GD is, first thing is your power of expression. And even here I do not mean your English language or your knowledge. No, अगर कोई आइडिया है माइंड में, उसको कितना सोच पा रहे हो, हाउ मच यू आर एबल टू आर्टिकुलेट वेल एंड structure your thoughts clearly, and then express them in whichever language, using your facial expressions, your hand gestures, doesn't matter, but whether you are able to convey your idea effectively. That is all power of expression means. And listening skills, obviously I told you, communication is not just one way. Listening is as important as speaking. So, how much you are able to listen when others are speaking? Are you remembering those points and then building up on them, or are you just going on your own? Because GD में वो clearly पता चल जाता है. If you are giving some point which is not at all related to what is being discussed, then it shows कि तुम वो point memorize करके आए हो, या वही सोच सोच के you are just giving it out in irrelevant times. It comes out. So you should be listening. You should be giving your points when it is relevant, and build on whatever the group is discussing, because ultimately you have to come to some consensus with the group. You giving out your points is not the purpose. You discussing them with your team, and then coming out to some logical common consensus is the whole point of a GD in any context, be it in SSB, in your uh, companies, when you are working in the corporate, or even in college. That is the purpose of any GD. And of course, your reasoning ability, whether you are able to think of points before you talk, whether you are able to build on whatever has been already spoken, or basic, intelligence and reasoning comes out. And your group behavior. This includes all your, factor two and factor three qualities, how good you are as a team person. That is being checked in your GD. And group discussion is not about winning. It is not about giving your points and making sure the group respects it. It is not a debate, but it is about contributing meaningfully. Are you adding value to the overall discussion? Are you adding value to the team when you are giving out your points? That is all GD is about. Uh, During the discussion, what topics can be given? Usually, topics are either current affairs, social issues, or sometimes defense related. Maybe India, or even global defense related issues may be given. These are just indicative topics. The overall all topics can be covered under these three. जैसे let's say some nuclear deal, some Indo-China relations, all those come under current affairs, and some social issues could be women rights, reservation in India, etc. And defense related, you all know कैसे topics आ सकती है. So yeah, this is how the GD is structured. What is the GTO observing when you are doing your group discussion over those 15-20 minutes, whatever the time is? What is the GTO observing? If you want to make a good impression, if you want to do well in your GTO tasks, these are the positive behaviors that you can display. Your entry should be well timed. It should not be like जब फिश मार्केट सिचुएशन हो रहा है तुम भी उसमें कुछ बोलने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, or when everyone is silent you are also silent. That is not the right way. You should try and enter as early as possible. Hopefully in the first few minutes of the GD itself you give out some good logical point. And even while during doing that, you need to be conscious of this ki when you are talking others should listen. Otherwise, there is no point in adding to the chaos or you just speaking when no one is listening. So your entry should be well timed, and your thoughts should be flowing in a logical manner. जैसे group में कोई discuss कर रहा है, for example on women rights, someone is discussing about maternity leave, someone is discussing about preferential treatment for men, and women are not being preferred in some workplace. ऐसे कुछ point आ रही है. Out of nowhere, you cannot give some completely irrelevant example and just related to the topic कुछ और ही बोल दिया, and everyone is surprised कि ये कहाँ से आ गया. That should not be the case. Your points should flow in a logical manner, in a sequential manner. So that is a good practice, and you should be very very respectful to others. That is a must have quality. You need not have greatest points. You need not have extremely good communication skills. All those are okay, but if you show any lack of respect for others, if you show domination or carelessness towards other people, that's a very big red flag. So do not do that. And you should be able to summarize points, because अगर 10-15 मिनट बात कर लिया उसके बाद you should be able to think and summarize कि अभी तक क्या क्या discuss किया, and then you should be able to put them in, let's say, less than 30 seconds, 40 seconds as a whole summary. So that is an important skill. It will come handy in your officer life. Throughout your career, you will be discussing about missions, you will be discussing about your troops, you will be discussing daily routines, and everything that happens amongst officers has to be summarized, has to be noted down. So that skill is very important, even when you are entering as an aspirant. And you having emotional control, say what I mean is not getting too aggressive, not being too submissive, and not speaking at all. If someone raises a point against what you have told, you should be able to control yourself and either give out your logical argument और एक्सेप्ट कि हाँ आप सही हो, मे बी आई शुड चेक बैक एंड करेक्ट माई सेल्फ, ऐसे बोलना shows कि you are having emotional control. You should not lash out at people, you should not get personal, you should not use your abuses, etc. So all that will come under your emotional control. So all these behaviors, these five things, if you do well, mota mota 95% of your GTO GD is taken care of. And if you have studied well, if you know something about the points or the topics that are given to you, you are anyway performing 100% well. So that is all. And negative behavior, some things which you should avoid in any GD, especially in SSBR: interrupting others, shouting or screaming at others, trying to dominate the discussion by talking too many times, or not letting others speak. A passive silence is, again, active silence is different. That is appreciated. Active silence is when others are speaking, you are paying attention, you are listening. But passive silence is तुम चुप भी हो एंड बाकियों का ध्यान भी नहीं दे रहे हो, मतलब you are a dead member in the team. Discussion चल रही है and you are thinking of something else, or you are not interested in what they are discussing. That is a very big red flag when a GD is happening. So these four are negative behaviors, and overall positive behaviors we have discussed.